Hello, hello. I'm back for some fucking Ace Attorney. I don't know how long this stream is gonna be, if I'm gonna be perfectly honest, just because I have, stuff I gotta do today. So, I'm just gonna do this case for as long as I can before I, I actually have to go exist and do stuff for today. I mean, I'm also just really tired, but hopefully that washes over me, so that I don't have to deal with that the entire stream. Regardless, let's get into this shit. That is the wrong tab. Okay. It has no volume, and I didn't turn it down on my end. That sounds good. Okay. Let me know if audio is weird. Other than that, let's just get into this shit. Gonna bring the fucking energy. Right. Are we actually examining the body? Yeah, we are examining the body. Cool. Oh, I forgot I changed the outfit. Oh, it has little, fucking, cherry blossoms in the goggles. Oh, I love this. I love this. Okay. Oh, the poor man. So young to die. Do you suppose it was very painful death, being poisoned as he was? I don't know. All I can do now is hope that he'll be reborn to a better life. Oh yeah, and I changed Rinosuke's too. Forgot I did that. Forgot I did those. Yes, I suppose you're right. I wonder. Do you think that putting our hands together in a Japanese prayer will help a British soul? Sorry. Oh, her book of wait. Wait, when she does that animation, her book just floats. I made sure I had a reference at the ready just for, you know, if reading were easy. I don't have a finishing for this joke. I made sure I had a reference at the ready just for such an occasion as this, actually. This book is entitled The Beginner's Guide to Praying for the Departed, the British Way. Don't. I'll just reread it now. One moment. There's quite a spine on that book, isn't there? Yeah. So we're not gonna investigate the actual body? Okay, well. Okay. There we go. Jesus, I could see that I needed to click it. Ah, one of the teacups that Mr. Shamspear and his guests drank from last night. But don't go drinking from him, Mr. Naruhodo. There's bitter poison inside. No, there's soap, apparently. That was so stupid. I'm not planning on drinking any, don't worry. Anyway, the cups are both empty. That's true. So, one was Mr. Shamspear's, and the other must be the cup that Mr. Natsume was drinking from. But Sasaki-san wasn't poisoned, of course. Perhaps we should take these so that we can examine them in more detail later. And by later, I mean right fucking now, because I want to. Court record, yada da da da. Let me look. Is there something like on the bond? Nothing. This one has like a ring around it. This must be the cup that Mr. Shamspear is drinking from then. It's stained on the inside. Tea does that, I'm afraid. Even green tea. Oh, really? I've never noticed that before. You've never noticed? Well, I never leave it in the cup long enough to leave the mark. I like to gulp it down. Drink tea while it's hot. That's the Japanese way, isn't it? Oh, dear. So many people seem to have the wrong idea about our culture. And most of them are Japanese. Okay, well, I thought that would be, important. This is the teacup from which Mr. Natsume was drinking. Yes. Unlike the other one, the inside of the cup is completely clean. I suppose he must have drunk the contents before the tea had a chance to leave a mark. I always gulp it down too. Sorry, Mr. Naruto? Are we just... Okay, so... Alright. Basically getting the same info. Sorry, Mr. Naruto? Well, if you just sip it little by little, it goes cold. Clearly, I shall have to instruct you in the proper way to take tea. Oh, okay. The teacups used by Mr. Shamspear and Mr. Natsume. There is no tea ring on the inside of Natsume's cup. Okay, well, there's nothing else really to investigate. What are these? Nearby street map. Oh, hey! I remember this. With the Your Books and the Calabash Road and the Briar Road and the... Ah, that's... Wow. And the set... Wow, we're just bringing back old... Literally just bringing back old, shit. You know, what in the fuck is this? And here we have another disproportionately large machine. This looks like a meter of some kind. Ah, this is the gas meter. This is a gas meter, I think. It seems like that in this district, residents pay for gas as they use it with coins. Ah, I see. Yes. Now you've pointed it out, I can see that there's a slot just here that looks like it would take a coin. So, you mean if you put a coin in here... That's right, that would buy about 2 hours of gas for lights and heating. So, if you were a poor person with no money, you'd have to sleep in the freezing cold. Yes, or if you were a scatterbrain with no change because you forgot to exchange your money at the bank, thank goodness there's no meter in our office. Yeah, that sounds about right. What the fuck is over here? Oh yeah, okay. There's just a lot... Capitalism. Exactly! This is some sort of makeshift stage, I think, isn't it? Where does the audience sit, though? For the nightly Shakespeare performance. Okay, so Shakespeare does exist! So there's just casually there's Shakespeare and Shamspeare. They just are two separate... What the fuck? Okay. That's... I thought this was like... whatever. Where does the audience sit, though, for the nightly Shakespeare performances? Actors aspiring to the great stage must practice their art, Mr. Naruto, with or without an audience. In fact, on a related note, perhaps you should set up a mock bench for the defense in your office. What? Then you could practice your art every single day. I should really love this outfit. Oh, think about it, if you promise to don a beard and play the role of the judge. Well, if that would help you achieve your goal. This I have to see. Okay. This is a gas wall light, isn't it? It must be connected to a gas pipe in the wall. Gas lights, a gas stove. London really is a city of gas. I'm such a fucking child. I am a fucking child. But now that I think about it, Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb had an open fire on the top floor, didn't they? Oh yes, you're right. I don't recall seeing a gas stove up there. Well, I much prefer a real fire anyway. It's so much cozier. True? Oh yeah, the bricks. As we've seen from the outside, the window is completely bricked up. I'm a fucking child. God damn it. A vestige of the former window tax that Britons had to pay. Britons? Oh, Britain. Okay, I get it. Okay, that, yeah. What a strange thing they used to tax in Great Britain. I mean, making people pay for the number of windows they had in a property. It's extraordinary. It's heartbreaking to think of the poor having to block up their windows just to avoid an unaffordable tax. Oh! What is it, Mrs. Otto? If you look closely, a number of bricks are loose. Oh. And there's fucking soap. Oh, yes. It looks as though an amateur has broken out a few of them just here. Was it Mr. Shamster who did it, I wonder? Being the lodger renting this room. Ah, look at this, Mr. Naruhodo. On the outside, there's a little ledge. And there's something on it. What, outside? Do I have to re-inspect? God damn it. It's so cold outside. You can feel it through this gap. It did snow all last night. It would be cold. But more importantly, excuse me. What is it? What is it on the ledge out there? What are those snow-covered lumps? It's more bars of soap. God, I'm gonna have fucking PTSD because of this fucking soap. Soap? What are bars of soap doing lined up on a ledge outside the window? I have no idea. But the pair of them look rather charming like that. Still, that's very strange, isn't it? Bars of soap lined up outside the window? I think perhaps we should take one. There are two, after all. Oh dear, I suppose we could. Oh, what's this? Look here at this soap. Ah! Ah! Do you see? In the middle there? There's a patch that's a different color. It's sort of transparent, but some sort of fancy design, I suppose. Only in Great Britain. It looks like Hinomaru. It looks like the Hinomaru flag of Japan, doesn't it? I wonder. Oh, that's still Susato. Fuck. It's probably a very expensive brand. Expensive? What's it doing in this ramshackle old room? The bar of soap has been entered into the court record. Let me just get a look-see. That's my armband. Fuck off. Shoot. Watch it be the poison or some shit. This part is a different color. It's quite exquisite in design, isn't it? Trust the British to turn a boring bar of soap into something special. I quite like it. It reminds me of the Hinomaru design of the Japanese flag. Except this is a rather expensive soap. That doesn't seem likely, given who it belongs to. Oh, okay, so we basically just repeated what we already, just said. Okay. Got it. Okay. Look at these extravagant, bright costumes. Hi, Luna! I'm playing Ace Attorney. I'm also kind of tired, but we're gonna ignore that part. Somehow they look out of place in this room, with its grim, shady goings-on. This one looks like a king's attire. A king? I've always dreamt of being a king. Oh, I think you'd be more suited to a feudal lord. A daimyo or such like. With a chonmage top knot? Every Japanese man wishes he had a chonmage. Oh, you'd look wonderful with one. And you already have the sword. Can you imagine what would happen if I walked around the streets of London with a chonmage and a sword? Is there anything else we can look at? I think I've done... Oh, wait. Unless... No, that is something new. What the fuck are you? What's this? It looks like a part of an envelope, I think. Yes, I think you might be right. Perhaps it was torn off when the letter was opened. Is that significant? Well, it's a little out of place, perhaps. When you look around the room, there's no sign of a letter or the rest of the envelope, in fact, is there? Ah, she's right. She is correct. And yet, here we have the torn off end of an envelope. It just strikes me as unusual. I agree. We'd better take this, just in case. Torn off end of the envelope. A ripped piece of... got it. Oh! Yay! We got everything! Looks like you're having a good snoop around, eh? Oh, fuck! Inspector Gregson! Back so soon? After I threw that little Japanese fella in the clink, I went and reported this to the investigation division. In 5 minutes' time, this place will be cordoned off by the yard. Oh, I see. Well, we'd better be leaving then. Poor Mr. Natsume must be feeling very low being back in the cell again so soon. I'm sure we should... What's wrong, Mr. Naruhodo? He's up! What the fuck? Out, a brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow. A poor player. I'm just as confused. I thought this was the victim. He is very much breathing. That struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. Sir? Sir, you are dead now. How soundeth the next part? Sir, you are dead! Is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Indeed, how happy day! What the fuck? What the fuck was that? What the fuck just happened? Okay. This man brought himself back. Luna, please clip that. Luna, please clip that. Holy shit. Just... The man was a corpse, and then got up, and then died again. What the okay. What? Walking Dead! I know. His legs are fucked up. Holy shit. The fella isn't dead at all? What was that nonsense he was saying, though? Bro is flabbergasted. What the fuck? I think... Yes, it was from William Shakespeare's Macbeth. A soliloquy from Act 5, Scene 5. Shakespeare. The man just fucking collapsed like a marionette. So it was. But the victim, Mr. William Shakespeare, came back to life. Why is Gregson surprised? He just gave the man the... I mean... The man did it, not fully realizing, oh wait, that was a corpse a second ago. Just, oh yes, that's the lie. Hold on! If the man had indeed been poisoned, it transpired that it hadn't killed him. He was taken by emergency carriage to a nearby hospital for treatment. And Inspector Gregson evicted us from the scene of the crime. Whatever that now was. Dude, the plot got so fucking thick, Popeye! Motherfucker! Whatever do you think will happen now? Good question. What a strange situation for Mr. Natsume. Arrested for murder, but then the victim comes back to life. That's not... What the fuck just happened? I know this series has, like, had ghosts and, like, fucking... like, shit like that before, but never has a victim come back to life in the way that shit just happened. I think perhaps the victim was never dead in the first place. It seems very likely that Shamspear did consume poison, as we deduced, but it wasn't an accident, attempted suicide, or attempted murder. Until the truth can be established, I imagine the police Thank you, Luna. Thank you, Luna. Hold on, I wanna... Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna pull this clip up. I just wanna watch this. Can I... How do I... Oh, I don't have a scene for this. Alright, we will just do this then. Hold on. I'm gonna pull this up on this should work. There we go. Okay. Let's watch this. It's a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. He just collapses. Indeed, how happy day! He just dies. That's fucking incredible. Of all things to happen there, I was not expecting that. Honestly, it was fucking incredible. Holy shit. Okay. Going back to the game now. That was just... Holy shit. Until the truth can be established, I imagine the police will keep Mr. Natsume in custody. I suppose so. Let's hope it doesn't come to anything more than a night in the cells. Oh. What's this? Popeye? I'm going to do my best fucking Popeye impression for this motherfucker, because that's literally just Popeye wearing yellow and with more of a tan. Hope my title was... Oh yeah, it was the perfect title. What's that man doing over there? Looks like he's trying to see into Soseki-san's lodgings. Is something wrong, Mr. Naruto? Excuse me? Could we have a word? Yeah. Okay. Oh, he's gone. Alright, great. What the fuck is happening? He just ran off. What the fuck? I feel sure that I've seen that man somewhere before. Where was it? Probably like a can of spinach. I did too, but I don't remember. I remember. I fucking remember, you motherfucker. Okay, so where can we go now? New location has been added. Ooh, the Gyarados room! Let's go to Gyarados. Am I a lot more like teleport? Shh. Shh. That's just... Shh. That's... Shh. That's movement in Ace Attorney. Shh. 21st of February, the Gyarados room! Fuck yeah, Gyarados. Here we are, the eccentric landlord's eccentric top floor abode. We're here because Mr. Gyarados, the one who discovered the incident this morning, don't forget. Hey! Ah, you chaps, eh? I am in a fever dream. Oh yeah! This is fucking... Shit went 0 to 100 so fucking quick. Yes, good morning, sir. Thank you for your cooperation in court yesterday. It was quite a trial. As much for Mr. Gerardeb as anyone, really. Came right back here as... Came straight back here after all that business at the Bailey yesterday. Didn't expect to wake up to more Bailey nonsense this morning.
I wonder, if you wouldn't mind telling us exactly what happened, Mr. Gerda?
Yes, I suppose you'd like to know all about that dead loss of an actor chap in the ground floor room. Those were exactly Inspector Gregson's words, weren't they? Oh yeah, I forgot. He can, like, stand every once in a while. Alright, let's talk to you, this motherfucker. The morning incident. It must have been a real shock for you this morning. I hear that you discovered what had happened. No, well, that hopeless actor chap rises at 5 o'clock sharp every morning without fail. But at 5:30 this morning, he still hadn't lit the gas. So I went down and knocked on his door, but no bally answer.
And that's when you broke into his room by kicking down the door?
Well, I called on that rum-looking Japanese chap to do the grunt work, of course. Wasn't it a little premature to kick the door down? The man could have just overslept by half an hour. Alright.
That's very true, Mr. Naruhodo. If 30 minutes of oversleeping warranted such behavior, I'd have to kick your door down every morning.
Alright, bitch. You didn't come out. Well, you know, better be safe than sorry and all that. Is it just me, or is he avoiding our gaze now all of a sudden? Oh no, really? What gave that away?
Except that it was a sorry situation indeed that you found on the far side of the door.
Okay, Mr. Shamspear, a stupid-ass name. The victim's name is Shamspear, I believe. Isn't that right? Yes, William Shamspear. Took the ground floor room 3 months ago now.
And how would you describe him?
A fucking zombie. In a word, destitute.
Destitute?
Destitute. Well, let's face it, the only redeeming feature of that room is the cheap rent. Anyone wanting to live in a place like that is either broke or has a bally screw loose. So hard to choose which category Soseki-san would fall into. I feel like both.
Mr. Naruhodo, that's a little rude.
Bitch, I thought that in my head! Don't read my mind, you fucking bitch! Stop reading my mind! He was doing research as well. Research? Into what? Shakespeare, of course, Shakespeare! Reading a few plays of the old bard myself, you know. Romeo and Hamlet and all that. That's... Yep.
Yes, William Shakespeare is England's most highly regarded classical playwright and author. He's known as Sao in Japanese, and as you know, and many of his works have already been translated.
Seems incredible that Shakespeare was shortened to Sao, though. Someone was too heavy-handed there. There were a lot of costumes in the victim's room, actually, weren't there?
Of course, Mr. Natsume is a scholar of English literature as well. I imagine he and Mr. Shamspear would have had much in common.
Okay, seriously? Okay, I'm convinced that, like, the translators somehow messed up what is and isn't, like, thought. Because she blatantly reacted to that. So it's like, you know. What the fuck? Shakespeare interpretation disagreement leads to shocking murder! Let's hope it's not that.
Mr. Naruhodo! Really, how rude!
Bitch, I thought that in my head. After Mr. Natsume's trial yesterday, you came straight back here, I believe, didn't you? Did you notice anything strange between then and this morning? Well, no. Must have been about 6 in the evening by the time I got home. Give me a sec.
Snow was coming down rather heavily, as I remember, and it was completely dark already. That failed actor chap was out at the time. Mr. Garrett noticed there was no light from his room or something, I suppose. Couldn't summon the energy for anything much, so I just sat in front of the fire up here. It was after 8 before Shamspear got back, and the chap was up until past 1 in the morning, I'll have you know. Suppose he met his end sometime after that. I was asleep by then, so I'm rather in the dark there. Well, thank you. That was very illuminating. Is everything alright, Mrs. Otto? Well, I was just thinking it's a little strange, that's all. Mr. Gairdeb? Sorry, I had to cough. Anyways, Mr. Gairdeb, you were up here in your room all evening, if I understood correctly. Not a big fan of stairs, not with this blasted leg. Then, how is it that you seem to know the precise movements of your tenant on the ground floor, I mean? Ah! Oh, he's gonna fall over. Oh, no, he didn't. That's a very good point. I can't imagine that you could hear noises from the ground floor all the way up here. Does this old man like to spy on his tenants? Is that it? I say, I know what you're thinking. It's a badly outrage. Anyway, I'm ex-military, don't you know? Don't go around spying on my... I don't go spying around on my tenants. Why would I? Okay, that one was meant to be, like... This is confusing. Then how did you know, Mr. Gairdeb? It's the gas, woman! The gas tells me everything! The gas? Cool. Speaking gas? What on earth do you mean, sir? How can the gas tell you anything, let alone everything? Well, as you're probably aware, the gas is supplied to the building by pipes. Yes, I'd more or less worked that out, but... Every room in the building is connected by a single pipe to the gas main outside. And the gas company supplies the gas to properties via the main. Yes, I understand that too. Let me see if I can explain. Let's say I was to light the gas lamps up here. What do you suppose would happen? Well, obviously the room would get brighter. Exactly. But at the same time... Finn, sorry, I just thought of the one clip I have with gas. Oh my... The fucking... What was it? The fucking... How do you... Why am I blanking on words? The... What, how do you fart in someone's ass? I hate you. Anyways. The lights in all the other rooms of the house would dim for a moment. What? They dim? Why? Perhaps it's because when you light a gas lamp, it briefly uses more gas than usual. And that reduces the amount of gas in the pipe for the other lamps that are connected to it? Maybe? That might explain why the other lamps dim momentarily, mightn't it? Yes, of course, because everything's connected to a single supply pipe. Is that supposed to happen, though? It sounds rather undesirable. Jolly good point. Fact is, the gas company's pipes in these parts are pretty hopeless, long worn out. And barely got any gas in them to start with. Opposite's also true, of course. Extinguish the lamps up here and they glow brighter for the rest of the house. Ah, right. I see. So, by watching the flickering the lamps in one room, you can determine what's happening elsewhere. You've got it. Oh, of course. Because when people come back home in the evening, before they go to sleep at night, what they're guaranteed to do is either light or put out their lamps and fires. Clever. In point of fact, the room on the ground floor and the one above it use slightly different amounts of gas. By watching the lights in here closely, I can work out almost exactly what's going on in the whole house. Gosh, that's fascinating, Mr. Garrideb. Absolutely fascinating. Oh, well, nothing to it, really. And I can't really see that it's going to help us with the case, either. What I'd like to know is why Mr. Garrideb was so interested in what his tenants are up to in the first place. I feel like there's more to it than idle curiosity. Well, we've done as much investigating here as we can, I think. Perhaps we ought to go to the prison and speak with Mr. Natsume again. A good idea. Again? Bitch, I haven't talked to him yet. Anyways, bye, Garrideb. It's a shame your wife isn't here. Bye! His head looks like a crescent moon. Oh, yeah, no. It doesn't help that, like, when he first shows up, he has his face, like, at a 90-degree angle to us the whole fucking time. So, like, we only see that angle for most of it. You can't really see it here either. I thought it was... Okay, anyway. 21st of February, local prison cell 9! Look, Mr. Naruhodo, he's contemplating his will to live. Mr. Natsume, have the police finished questioning you now? Oh, God.
Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire!
Oh, yes? Yeah.
What is he? Tell me, is he a ghost? Is he here to haunt me?
Let me guess. You're talking about Mr. Sholmes? He actually calls himself a great detective, Mr. Natsume, not a ghost.
But his diabolic deductions, they're not of this world. They've left me. Cursed! I'm cursed, I tell you!
Well, that sort of hurts. Credit where credit is due, Mr. Naruhodo. You were heavily involved in the deduction, too. Yes, moving on. We have some wonderful news!
Oh?
Okay, wow, he switched on a dime. The victim that we all thought was dead has come back to life again! Now, in the absolutely worst case, you could only be tried for attempted murder. That's great, isn't it? Mr. Natsume?
It's terrible!
Oh! Why? Why is it?
I'm stuck in this cell, suffering from silly wrong end of the stick! You didn't you? Confess you're a killer! Why the mustache? Constant questions!
I'm sorry to hear that.
This selfish sister!
Shyster? Fuck.
Make up your mind! Are you dead or alive? If you were going to come back to life, why bother dying? Wiggledy wishy-washy William!
Well, seems likely that Mr. Shamspear was never actually dead in the first place.
Ah, yes. That might make sense. And I'm pleased that he's alive, of course. A lively debate last night was much fun. And it'd be sad to think I was our last.
Oh! What's with his poses? Yes.
Oops.
Mr. Natsume, does this mean that you did see the victim last night? You met with Mr. Shamspear, didn't you?
I'm not saying another word! I demand to have a lawyer present! What do you think I am?
Please, Mr. Natsume, we need to hear your side of the story. You fucking idiot, you lovable dumbass. God.
Why am I cursed like this?
Yeah, well, suck a dick and tell me your story. What happened? Can you tell us exactly what happened last night then, Mr. Natsume?
There's nothing to tell! But, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, I am eternally grateful to you helping me with that accused case yesterday.
The case that saw poor Miss Green hospitalized after she ended up with a knife in her back? It's hard to believe that was only yesterday. I'm gonna sneeze. No, I'm not. Never mind.
After the trial was over, I trudged my weary way back to the lowly lodgings, or my lowly lodging. Water. And that evening, At past 9, it must have been. I visited Mr. Shakespeare.
So you didn't go to the victim's room then? Or you did go? Did I misread? So you did go to the... Okay, I'm stupid. As we feared.
I didn't do anything wrong! I'd never been to his room before. It was the first time!
Then what made you decide to go?
I bumped into him when I arrived back at the house. We got chatting and it developed into a discussion. But he had to go out, so I bade him farewell.
That ties with what Mr. Garrett said. That the victim went out and came back after 8.
We met again later that evening, at around 9 or just after, when I took him some nice tea I'd brewed as a gift.
So it was you who brought the tea that had clearly been drunk at the scene then. And I suppose you were discussing the works of Shakespeare, were you?
Yes, that's right. That's exactly right. Romeo and Juliet! Who was the stronger? It was a delightful debate.
Were you power scaling Romeo and Juliet? Is that what I know you probably weren't. But my headcanon is now they were power scaling Romeo and Juliet. I'm sure.
Such a stimulating subject, Shakespeare!
You heard me, Luna. They were power scaling Romeo and Juliet. And the debate became very heated, so you slipped poison into Shakespeare's tea?
No, never, not at all!
Why would you?
Team Juliet won! That was me! And when I left his room, the flamboyant fellow was fighting fit! I swear it, categorically!
They were power scaling. They literally had a Goku versus Superman debate, but for Romeo and Juliet. It's with each passing part of this fucking story. They just power scaled. I don't care. Alright. Cursed existence. Let's talk about your curse. Mr. Natsume, you often say the same thing about yourself, I've noticed. That you have a cursed existence.
I'm sure I've mentioned this to you before, but I've been here in Great Britain for a year now. And in that time, I've learned that it's no place for me.
It can be very trying to live in a foreign land and adapt to the ways of another culture. There are foreigners everywhere.
Oh, there are foreigners everywhere I look, and they all stare at me. They all laugh. That's the impression I get whenever I go out. It makes me scared to leave my room. Which is why I've become a recluse. But even in my room, I find no respite from my fears. I've moved more times than I can remember, and then 1 week ago, I moved into Briar Road.
But why? I mean, why did you choose that place? It doesn't seem very comfortable.
Because the rent is cheap. I have so little money it spoke to me.
The rent?
Obviously, there's a reason why it's cheap. Because the room is cursed.
Cursed? Cursed how? Motherfucker. In your timeline, they said this yesterday. Or 2 days ago. Why it's cursed. You fucking idiot. I remember, and I played that case like a month ago. Or damn close. Jesus. Cursed? Cursed how? Because
the previous occupant, the man who lived there before I took the room, died there.
Oh no!
He was only a young man, but one morning he was found dead, and no one could explain why.
Surely no one would want to live in a room with a history like that.
I didn't. When the letting agent recommended the place, I wavered. But I want books, and books cost money. Horrible history is a small price to price to fuck. When I realized it would mean I could buy more books, I signed the lease like lightning. Brave? Or blinkered? But after I moved in, I soon came to realize what I'd done. I realized how horrible that room's history really was.
Gosh, was it really so awful?
And then we're gonna get a new thing.
Yep, horrible history.
How did the room's horrible history affect you, Mr. Natsume? What happened?
At first, it was just a feeling. The feeling of beady eyes boring into my back, watching me.
Do you think that might just have been your mind playing tricks on you?
No. My mind doesn't know any tricks. It was someone else. It's been one long nightmare ever since I was given the keys to that place.
A nightmare? You've been having bad dreams, you mean?
All the souls who've died in that room lean over me in my sleep and try to strangle me.
You know, he sounds crazy, but knowing the Ace Attorney universe and all the shit that happens in this universe's, like, future, I guess, I would not be surprised. I really wouldn't be surprised if they were like, oh, you know, haunting.
That really is horrible.
And now I come to think of it, it happened again last night, too. The very same night that Mr. Shakespeare was writhing in agony for the poison on his...
You're really bad at this. Oh, wait, never mind. He wasn't confessing. It was just like... Okay, never mind.
I was on the verge of being suffocated slightly by those miserable spirits in my room.
You simply must move out of that room as soon as possible.
Yes, you're right, I know it, and that's why I'm already searching for the next room with a history to call home.
I think perhaps you should try to avoid accommodation with any kind of history at all. Otherwise, I'm scared that you yourself may become history.
Whew. Susato-san knows how to make the man listen. Damn fucking Skippy.
Of course. Mr. Lord of the Manor is worried about the curse on my room as well.
You mean Mr. Garrideb?
Yes, he knows that if people keep dying there, he'll never be able to rent it out again.
Well, that's true. I, for one, want to go near the place.
Ah, perhaps... that may explain why the landlord pays so much attention to the gas lamps and his tenants' movements.
You mean because he's worried about their well-being? He does seem to have an unusually keen interest in the amount of gas in the pipes. There must have been some reason why he keeps such close tabs on the occupants of his let rooms. Motherfucker, I can't English.
What do you mean he pays so much attention to the gas lamps?
Oh dear, no, it's nothing to do with you, Mr. Natsume. Please, forget I said anything.
Smooth. Oh, you're talking about me behind my back as well.
Well, what's important is that Mr. Shakespeare isn't in fact dead at all, I think.
He could die again. Once he's come around and he's able to tell us what happened, we'll be able to get you released.
Yes, please. Oh, I do hope you're right.
I feel like I know who this is.
Excuse me. Yep, there it fucking is. Oh, of fucking course it is. Inspector Grayson! Couldn't help overhearing what you just said. And on that note, I have some good news and some bad news.
Oh!
Which do you want first? Always, every time, the bad news comes first. When hope is all you have, hold on to it. That's my guiding principle. Right, well, in that case, the good news it is. Sorry, but it's just a lot easier to explain everything that way. And why did you ask my preference? As you might have heard, the victim, Mr. Shamspear, was just unconscious. He's come round now.
Yes, we saw it happen in all its terrifying glory. Fucking flopped over. It's fucking...
He's still being treated by the doctors, but we've managed to get a written statement from him already.
Oh, isn't that wonderful, Mr. Natsume?
Oh, thank goodness. It's all over then. I can leave this somber cell.
No, it's gonna be fucking... It's gonna say, oh, yeah, Saseki killed me. Signed, Shamspear. That's what it's gonna be.
And sorry, no, that's not on the cards. What?
Why ever not, Inspector?
Mr. Shamspear has implicated someone as being responsible for what happened last night.
Implicated someone? Oh dear!
You don't mean... I'm sorry to say that I do, yes. He's pointed the finger at you, Mr. Natsume. By sweet poison did he seeketh to end my life. That wickedst caitiff, Soseki Natsume. No!
No! Fuck, I keep getting Ryunosuke and Soseki confused for some fucking reason.
So I'm afraid you'll be appearing in court as planned. You'll be wanting to make the necessary preparations.
Great.
No!
Fun! But I expected that from frame 1. And so, once again, Soseki-san found himself having to take the dock in the Old Bailey. Whether his room was haunted or whether he was just terribly unlucky, I knew I had no choice. The following day, I would represent him in court, and do my utmost to break the curse that is that a to be continued moment? Is that a to be continued moment? That's a to be continued moment! And I'm gonna end the stream because I have to get ready for stuff. And I have I would keep going, but also this is a brilliant place to stop, and I have to get ready to go somewhere. So it's a short ass stream, but I will start the actual trial tomorrow. Also, Julie, I don't know if you're still here. Julie, I don't know if you're still in here, but we still need to fucking do the adventure of them. We need to fucking do this. Okay, let me put this on. Wait, I don't have a thing for this. Did I not open the... Oh, shit. I did not fucking... Hold on. Is there someone I could just raid? Did I not open the... No, I don't want to hear my own stream. I already hear my... I already hear myself in there. Channel... Where is the... I'm gonna just raid someone because... You know, why not? Where the fuck is it? Video producer, creator dashboard, safety. I'm still figuring this out. Creator dashboard, is that it? Yep. No, there it is. Stream manager. Alright, I'm going to raid a channel. Fuck it. Fuck it. Okay, well, bye. Bye-bye.